Ecclesiastes with me and Gingersnap, who might be about to jump down. Or just get. Nope, she's jumping down. So last week we took a little introductory look into the book of Ecclesiastes, which is some of the wisdom literature in the Hebrew Bible. A collection of sayings of someone wise, not necessarily a narrative or in any order, just a collection of sayings. So Ecclesiastes has two voices, the voice of the teacher who's being remembered and the voice of the author who is writing these words down. So tonight I wanted to read Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verses 1 through 14, as translated by my friend, the Reverend Alex Peterson. The words of the teacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Smokiest of smoke, says the teacher. Smokiest of smoke. All is smoke. What advantage do people gain from all the toil at which they toil under the sun? A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun goes down and hurries to the place where it rises. The wind blows to the south and goes around to the north. Round and round goes the wind, and on its circuits the wind returns. All streams run to the sea, but the sea is not full. To the place where the streams flow, there they continue to flow. All things are wearisome, more than one can express. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, or the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there a thing of which it is said, "See, this is new"? It has already been in the ages before us. The people of long ago are not remembered, nor will there be any remembrance of people yet to come by those who come after them. I, the teacher, when king over Israel and Jerusalem, set my heart to seek and to search out by wisdom all that is done under heaven. It is an unhappy busyness that God has given the children of humanity to be preoccupied with. I saw all the deeds that are done under the sun, and see, all is smoke and a chasing after wind. This is the word of the Lord. So last week we talked a little bit about the Hebrew word for God, which is the four letters, Yod, He, Vav, He. So we say it as Yahweh, but it's the sound of breath. Let's see if that helps the computer. So we often read this passage in Ecclesiastes with the word vanity. All is vanity, in the sense of things are done in vain, things are ultimately meaningless, which is a bit more of a loaded word than what Alex translates as smoke from the Hebrew hevel, which is literally smoke or breath or vapor, which are more neutral words. So they are things that are real. They're not something you can grab at. They're insubstantial, but they are there and they come and go and surround you. So on the one hand, this passage from Ecclesiastes is kind of dark, a bit on the cynical side, just a little bit. And on the one hand, it might be reassuring if you yourself are feeling that the world is a dark void, which I think most of us feel that way sometimes. It might be reassuring to know that similar words have been said before and that you're not alone. But on the other hand, even though the teacher says that all things are smoke, that all things pass away, that all things are temporary, the teacher doesn't say that that's a bad thing. Because in order for anything new to be born or to grow or to come into existence, something has to end, something has to die. That's where creativity and new life and new ideas and new civilizations come from. For people who are extremely proud, it might be a very timely reminder that they will die. And it is reassuring over the course of democracy that tyrants will die and that something new, hopefully something better, will come up. But I think that for all people, it is helpful and healthy to remember that we will die. Because we need to remember that we're living for something, that something needs to motivate us, to keep us going, but also to reassure us that things will not always be the way that they are exactly right now. There have been plagues and pandemics and viruses before. There are right now, and there will be again, but they won't last forever. We are surrounded by something insubstantial, by the breath and the smoke and the vapor that is life. But we're also surrounded by God, who is also insubstantial. You can't grab at breath, you can't grab at smoke or vapor, and you can't grab at God either. So again, that word that all is smoke, that isn't necessarily a bad thing, because God is kind of like that too. In the sense of all things having been done before, I live streamed this at 8 and Facebook didn't record it. So I myself have done this before. I'm really struggling with technology this week, or maybe my internet is, I don't even know. But all things will come to an end. And in the grand scheme of things, we are tiny specks on a ball of earth that's hurtling around the sun. And sometimes that perspective can be very helpful. So as I think that Gingersnap is now pawing at her dish, even though it's probably empty of the food that I gave her, so she won't be saying goodnight to you, but I will say goodnight to you peoples, and stay healthy until I see you again.